Okay, these are homework problems from exercise 11.4. The first problem is question 5H. Find the equation of the parabola with coordinates of the vertex 0, 0 and equation of the axis x equals 0 passing through the point -1, 7. Girls, if you do a sketch, it will really help you. Now we know the vertex is 0, 0. The axis of symmetry is the y-axis, which happens to be x equals 0, and it passes through the point -1, 7. So the parabola passes through some point up here, which is -1, 7. Now, girls, when a point lies on a parabola, you can substitute the point into the parabola. Just like when a point lies on a line, you can substitute the point into the line. So, girls, of the parabola types that you know, is this a x squared equals 4ay type or a minus 4ay type? Yeah, so all you know is that it's an x squared equals 4ay type of parabola. You don't have anything else, but you do have a point. And that point is an xy value. So we're going to substitute x is -1, y equals 7, because we know that that lies on the parabola. And if you substitute x is -1, y is 7, you'll have numbers everywhere else, and you'll be able to work out what a is. So, and then that's what you want. Okay, so substitute x is -1, gives me -1 squared is 4a times 7. 1 equals 28a. So therefore a is what? 1 over 28. So your parabola is x squared equals 4ay. We know that a is 1 over 28. So it becomes x squared is 4 over 28, which is what? 1 on 7y. Or, so that's it. X squared equals 1/7 y, or x squared equals y on 7. Shh, girls. Sometimes, you know, your 4a can be a fraction. And that's where some people have, like in the next question, 6f. I chose those questions specifically because I knew you'd struggle with them. So, well, that's why we end up doing them now. Are you okay with that, girls? All right, I have to get on to the next one. It's question 6f. And 6f says, find the coordinates of the focus and the equation of the directrix and the focal length for this parabola, 2x squared equals y. Now, we like to see it in the format of x squared equals 4ay. So what should I move? The 2. So I've got x squared is, where does the y go? So it's really x... Isn't it really x squared is a half y? Now, girls, just because it's a fraction, don't freak out. Isn't this of the form x squared equals 4ay? So, comparing everything with each other, the x squareds are the same, the y's are the same, therefore, what does the 4a equal? A half. So, therefore, no, that half equates with the 4a, because the x squareds are the same, the y's are the same. We know it's this type because it's not -4a whatever. Okay, so now 4a is a half. Where are you going to put this 4? You're going to divide by 4. So it's 1/8. Isn't 4 over 8 equal to a half? So a is 1 on 8. Be careful. So therefore, let's draw our parabola. We know it's concave up because when we put the 2 on the other side, we got x squared is a half y. That's the 4ay type. Girls, I hope everyone's watching. So vertex 0, 0. The focus is a is the focal length. So it's 1/8 units up. So what's the focus? 0, 1/8. What's the directrix down here? Y equals -1/8. So we've got the coordinates, the focus, the equation of the directrix, and the focal length a. That's the focal length. A is always the focal length. It's 1/8. Okay? Next? All right. Now, question 8. A tangent. So we've got a tangent with equation 2x minus y minus 4 equals 0. It touches the parabola. Girls, to find the coordinates, it's just like you're solving where does this parabola touch the tangent. You want the point of contact of two equations, solve simultaneously. That's it. So you've got this equation and this one, x squared equals, what does that say? 4y. You would make y the subject of the first one, I would say. I would rearrange that. I would rearrange this and make y the subject, and what will you get? That y equals, I would take the minus, well, I'd take the negative y to the other side, and you get 2x minus 4, and I would sub that into this equation below. So we've got that equation, make y the subject, substitute it into that, and you'll get that x squared is 4 times all of that. Girls, when two things touch or intersect, you want the point of intersection, okay? You would just solve simultaneously, okay? All right, stay here, girls. Close the door because it's going to get loud. We get x squared is 8x minus 16. Girls, what sort of equation is this? So it's x squared minus 8x plus 16 is 0. To me, it looks like a perfect square. You know, there's only one solution if it's a tangent. Basically, you've got a parabola, and I'll just put the tangent anywhere. There should only be one solution for the point of contact. That will hint to you, it's x minus 4 squared is 0. So therefore, x is 4. So when x is 4, girls, you can substitute it into that. When x is 4, isn't y equal to 2 times 4 minus 4, which is 4? So they actually cross on this side. That's where the point of intersection is, or where it touches. You've got a concave up parabola, and the tangent will look like that. It touches at the point 4, 4. A fair few people asked about question 9, so I want to do that now. Yes, A is the point 4, 4. Now, question 9. A few people asked about this. The focal chord. Now, a focal chord is a chord that passes through the focus. The focal chord that cuts the parabola x squared equals minus 6y. Tell me what sort of parabola that is. Concave up or down? Down. That cuts that at 6 minus 6, so down here somewhere. So focal chord's going to be here somewhere. So it's going to go like this. It's a chord that passes through the focus. We're going to have to work out what this focus is and what this other point here is. Girls, the only way you're going to work it out is to work out the equation of this, work out the equation of the focal chord. So you need the focus first. So let's work out x squared is minus 6y. Isn't that x squared equals minus 4ay type? Yeah. So comparing, no, the minuses are the same. So 4a is 6. So a is 6 on 4, which is 3 on 2, or 1.5. Okay? Now, so the coordinates of the focus, you have to sketch it, otherwise you're not going to realize it's concave down. What are the coordinates of the focus? 0, negative 3 on 2. So now you can find the equation of the line between 6, negative 6 and 0, negative 3 on 2. You find so the next step is to find the equation of the focal chord, and you can do that because you've got 2 points. How do you do that? Find the gradient. If you want the equation of the line, point gradient formula, that's it. So we've got a point or a point. We need the gradient. y2 minus y1, so I'll go negative 6 minus negative 3 on 2 over 6 minus 0. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we get negative 6 plus 1.5 would be negative 4.5 over 6, 9 on 12, negative 3/4. Yep. So, wait, we're not finished. So therefore, the equation is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So the equation is, using the point, let's use the point 0, negative 3 on 2. Y minus negative 3 on 2, actually, yeah, that's okay, equals, what are we going to use for our, negative 3/4 x minus 0, because we're using the point 0, 3 on 2 as our point. So we're using our point is 0, negative 3 on 2, and that the gradient is -3/4. That's the point and the gradient of that line. So we get x plus 3 on 2 equals -3/4 x. Now, girls, I need to get rid of the 4 and the 2. What can I multiply both sides? Well, 4 will work. Multiply both sides or multiply through by 4. And you'll get, so it's going to be 4 times all of that and 4 times this. 4 times all of this, let me just do it like that, and 4 times this. What happens when you do 4 times that? So I'm multiplying the left and the right. Don't they cancel? And don't I get 4y plus 4 times 3 is 12 on 2 is 6, is -3x. So the equation is 3x plus 4y plus 6 is 0. That's the equation of the focal chord. Now coming back up here, problem is, no it's not, I'm not finished. That's the equation of that line. I need to know point x. I have to solve 3x plus 4y plus 6 equals 0 and the equation of the parabola, which is x squared is minus 6y, simultaneously. Does that make sense? Now I will continue with, girls, you need to get your sheets off me. Can we, what about lunchtime?
Yeah, we'll come at lunch. Yeah?
No.
Meeting room.
Go meet me on the veranda at lunch. One of you call for me, but.
Marion veranda?
Yep. All right, girls. So solve simultaneously. You might want to make y the subject here. 4y is minus 3x minus 6. So y is minus 3/4 x minus 6 on 4. Substitute that into x squared equals minus 6y. So you get x squared is minus 6 times this. Are we okay with that? To solve these two simultaneously, make y the subject of either one actually. You could have made y the subject of that, but we don't want over x squared. Actually, it may have been better. Oh, it doesn't matter. So then you get x squared is, now multiplying those two, you get 18 on 4. What's that? 9 on 2? Multiplying -6 by -6 on 4, you get positive 36 on 4, which is 9. So multiplying both sides by 2. Got to get rid of the divide by 2. Multiply the left and the right all by 2. See, multiplying the left and the right by 2, multiply by 2 through by 2. You get 2x squared equals 9x plus 18. Taking everything over, sorry girls, to the left. It's a big question. Factorising, geez, I hope it factorises. Factors of 18, 6 and 3 or 9 and 2. I reckon 6, that gives me 12. Minus 3 is 9. I think we should go minus 12 plus, what's 2x squared minus 12x plus 3x works. So therefore, x is 6 or x is -3 on 2. Now, sorry girls, I'm off the page. But if I bring this back down, someone come and fold. All right, if you look at the original diagram, we already know the x is 6, 1. See, that gives me where the line cuts the parabola. We know it cuts the x is 6. This is the coordinate of the x. So therefore, the x, so we need to find y when x is -3 on 2. So substitute x equals -3 on 2 into one of the equations with y. You might want to do it into this one. Y equals -3/4 x minus 6 on 4. It's a big question. And you get, oh, -3/4 times -3 on 2 minus 6 on 4. What do we get? 9 on 8 minus 6 on 4. 1 and 1/8 minus, well, wouldn't it be 9 on 8 minus 12 on 8? -3/8. So therefore, whoops. Sorry girls. Therefore the coordinates of x, the big X, are -3 on 2, -3 on 8. So that's, sorry girls, that's what this point here is. Negative 3 on 2, negative 3/8. And it makes sense from the drawing it would be there. Negative 1.5, negative 3/8. Obviously this 6, 6 is not drawn to scale. So girls, there's a fair bit there to do. Okay? So, and the hints on how to do it, do you need that? Yep. It talks about the focal chord. Cuts the parabola at one place and then another. So, sorry girls. No, not again. I haven't lost it. Oh, good. Okay, it talks about the focal chord cutting the parabola. So if you knew the equation of the focal chord, you could solve simultaneously with the parabola. So it's all about working out the equation of the focal chord. A focal chord is a chord that passes through the focus. So then the next thing you need to know is, what is the focus? That's what we worked out first. What was the focus using this? So if you want the equation of the focal chord, you need the focus. Because a focal chord is a chord that passes through the focus. So you need the focus, number one. You need the focus, which was 0, negative 3 on 2. Even though the focal length is A, the coordinates of the focus are 0, negative 3 on 2. Then you need the equation of the focal chord. Now you've got 2 points. Find the equation of the line using 2 points. Because that is the only way you're going to find the point of intersection of the line and the parabola, is to solve simultaneously. To find where 2 lines or a line and a curve cross, solve simultaneously. You need the equations of both things to solve simultaneously. You cannot solve simultaneously unless you've got the equations of both lines. So girls, there's the rest of that. So this was question 9 of 11.4. Now I'll do some more questions. There were a number of questions that people couldn't do. I'm going to have to do them for a video tonight for you to watch. Plus, and I'll get it done. I'll do it at school.